There were two men, who were seriously ill, and occupied the same room at a hospital. One of them got a bed next to the room's only window. The man was also allowed to sit up on his bed for an hour each afternoon to help him drain fluids from his lungs. The other man, who was in the same room, had to spend all his time lying flat on his back. The two roommates quickly got bonded, and started talking for hours. They talked about their lives, their jobs, and their families. One day, the man on the other side of the window expressed how he envied the man that was close to the window. From that day, the man close to the window started describing the things he could see outside the window. Every afternoon, the man close to the window would sit and describe beautiful things he could see outside the window to his roommate. The man in the other bed would love the hours where his world would be broadened and described activities and colors of the outside world. As the man by the window described all the exquisite details of the outside world, the other man would close his eyes and imagine those scenes. One afternoon, the man by the window described a beautiful parade passing by the window. In spite of that, there was no sound of bands coming from the outside. He still imagined all the things the other man by the window described to him. Suddenly, a thought crossed his mind: why should he have all the pleasure of seeing everything, and I get to see nothing? As days and weeks passed by, it became a daily routine. One morning, a nurse arrived to examine the condition of the two patients. She found the lifeless body of the man by the window. The man had peacefully embraced his death in his sleep. The nurse sadly called the hospital attendants to take the body away. The other man grieved the death of his roommate, but as the day passed by, he started missing his roommate's description view. In a hope to have a glance at the window to see the beautiful things outside, he decided to ask the nurse if he could move next to the window. The nurse happily made the switch. As soon as he was comfortable in his new bed, he slowly and painfully propped himself to take his first look at the world outside. The nurse delightfully watched as the man made an attempt to sit on the bed. But as he strained slowly to turn to look out of the window, he was stunned to see a blank wall outside the window. He was agitated. He asked the nurse what could have made his roommate tell him lies about the view outside the window. There is nothing to see from here. Where are all the wonderful things he saw? He described everything so vividly. Is this a new and recent wall? Why did he give me such details that do not exist? He asked. The nurse shook her head and answered, perhaps he just wanted to encourage you and make you happy. You see, your roommate was totally blind. The man was dumbfounded at the power of encouragement he received from his roommate. The moral of the story is that it is our choice to keep positive attitude towards life. Circumstances are just parts of what makes us joyful. The pursuit of happiness is an inward journey. If we continue to complain and grumble, we may end up getting ourselves injured. Despite our situations, we should strive to make others happy. In Philippians 4, verse 11, it makes us understand that strength to find contentment during trouble comes not from begging God to increase our own abilities, but by allowing Christ live through us. Paul knew that every moment of life is precious. He refused to let setbacks steal his joy. So do not let your situational setbacks steal your joy.